Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking something that literally dictates every single aspect of our daily lives. You know, we so often hear about the environment as this vast, abstract concept, the forests, the oceans, the atmosphere. But today, we're going to look at the undeniable, direct connection between our environment and our very own bodies. We're exploring this core idea that our air, our water, and our land, they aren't just some beautiful backdrop to our lives. They're actually the fundamental foundation of our well-being. So, a healthy planet isn't just about saving the trees, it's quite literally about a healthy you.
Okay, let's dive into this. Why does a clean planet actually matter? I want you to really think about that personally for a second. It's so incredibly easy to kind of brush off pollution as a problem happening, well, out there somewhere, right? But the stakes of environmental health, they are deeply, deeply personal to every single one of us. I mean, think about it. Every breath you take, every sip of water you drink, every single bite of food you eat, it's all pulled directly from the earth. So when the planet suffers, we suffer right along with it. And conversely, when the planet thrives, we thrive.
Section 1. Air. When air gets dirty. We're going to start by looking up at the sky because, well, this is our most immediate constant interaction with the environment. When cars pump out massive amounts of exhaust or when factories release heavy emissions into our skies, it creates a massive domino effect. Clean air directly equates to happy, healthy lungs. But on the flip side, dirty air leads to coughing and sickness, especially for children and older people. Think of it like a macro to micro relationship. Those massive plumes of smoke billowing out of a factory smokestack, that's the macro. But those pollutants don't just magically disappear into the clouds. No, they break down into microscopic particles that we involuntarily breathe in. That's the micro. Breathing in that dirty smoke physically hurts our lungs, and it disproportionately impacts the most vulnerable among us: kids whose little bodies are still growing, and older folks who might already have a hard time fighting off sickness. Our health is totally tied to the sky's health.
Moving right along to Section 2. Water. When water gets dirty. This covers everything from your local streams to rushing rivers and vast oceans. Unfortunately, these vital waterways are frequently invaded by things like trash, think plastic bottles, and nasty chemical runoff. And the contrast here is absolutely stark. Clean water means safe drinking for us and healthy fish in the rivers. But dirty water, it brings a whole host of problems. When we drink contaminated water, it gives us terrible tummy aches and makes us seriously sick. But it's not just us. The damage hits wildlife incredibly hard, leaving water animals sick and struggling. It's like a giant ripple effect. When we use our rivers and oceans as dumping grounds, everybody and everything shares the painful consequences. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how this very local issue scales up to the highest international level. Enter SDG 3. This is a massive global goal set by the United Nations, specifically for good health and well-being. And this worldwide framework relies fundamentally on keeping our water clean. It's basically global recognition of exactly what we've been talking about. You literally cannot have a healthy, thriving human population without safe, clean water backing it up. It's an absolute must-have.
Next up, Section 3. Land. When land gets sick.
So, we've covered what we breathe and what we drink, but now we really need to talk about the very ground beneath our feet. When we throw garbage everywhere, or when factories spill bad chemicals, those toxins seep directly into the soil. And healthy land is crucial because it means plants grow properly, giving us safe food. But sick land, that leads to wilted plants and food that might actually be bad for us to eat. Because here's the crucial connection. Sick land means sick plants, which ultimately means the food grown in that dirt might pass those harmful elements right into our bodies. We essentially absorb whatever the land has absorbed. If the dirt is full of toxic junk, that junk can travel right up the food chain and land straight on our dinner plates. Yikes, right?
All right, let's pivot for Section 4. Real story. Clean water wins in India.
We've talked about a lot of abstract concepts and big global frameworks, but let's get down to something concrete and honestly super uplifting. Because when we actually fix these problems, incredible things happen. In this particular community in India, the story started at step 1. Drinking from a dirty well was causing widespread tummy sickness. That was the huge systemic problem. But then, step 2, the community comes together and collaboratively builds a brand new clean water pump. And this brilliantly illustrates the transformation. Look at step 3. Suddenly children are healthy, they can reliably go to school, and they actually have the energy to play. It's amazing. Solving one single pollution problem, just getting clean water, led directly to education, happiness, and a completely revitalized community. It's a total game changer.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Becoming a Health Hero.
Your health, our planet's health.
Seeing that incredible win in India is such a powerful reminder that we all have a part to play here. We've got a mission. So, how do we do it? First, we need to keep our local air, water, and land clean. Be really mindful about your trash and waste. Second, protect all animals and plants. They are completely vital pieces of this giant puzzle we live in. And third, help your family, friends, and yourself stay healthy. Because when we step up and protect our environment from waste and contamination, we are literally acting as health heroes for everyone and everything around us. How cool is that?
So the crucial point is perfectly captured right here. A clean environment is super important for everyone's health. It's not just a nice to have, and it's certainly not an optional bonus. It is the absolute prerequisite for us to live good lives. When the world around us is clean and balanced, we have the foundation we need to grow, innovate, and thrive. We've totally cemented that direct link today. Whatever happens to the earth, happens to us, for sure. I want to leave you with this final thought to carry with you today. What simple actions will you take today to be a health hero? Really think about it, because you absolutely have the power to make a difference right where you are. And hey, if you're sitting there wondering, well, exactly where do I start? Don't worry, we've got you covered. In our next explainer, we are going to break down the specific, totally doable everyday habits you can adopt to protect our planet. Until then, keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time.